Welcome back to La Coins World, Lincoln Penny 1968 Coins Dollar. Have you ever imagined that a single penny sitting unnoticed in your pocket, hidden inside an old piggy bank, or resting at the bottom of a forgotten coin jar, could actually be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars? It sounds unbelievable, but this is exactly what makes coin collecting one of the most exciting hobbies in the world. Every year, collectors discover ordinary-looking pennies that turn out to be rare treasures because of their condition, minting errors, or historical significance. The smallest details, a tiny mint mark, a doubled letter, or an unusual strike, can completely change the value of a coin. That is why experienced collectors never ignore a Lincoln penny, no matter how common it appears at first glance. Welcome back to Hardest Penny, the channel where we uncover the hidden secrets, fascinating history, and incredible values of America's most collectible 1-cent coins. If you enjoy learning about rare pennies, valuable mint errors, and real auction prices, make sure you watch until the end, because today's coin is one that many people have handled without realizing its true potential. The 1968 Lincoln penny may seem ordinary, but certain examples have become highly desirable among collectors and have sold for remarkable prices. 1968 Lincoln Penny. The 1968 Lincoln penny holds an important place in American coin history. It was produced during a time when the United States Mint was recovering from the nationwide coin shortage of the 1960s. To improve coin production and meet public demand, the Mint increased output while continuing to produce the familiar Lincoln Memorial cent that Americans had carried in their pockets for decades. Although millions of these pennies entered circulation, collectors know that not every 1968 penny is created equal. Some are common, while others are surprisingly valuable because of their outstanding condition or rare mint errors. The front of the 1968 Lincoln penny features the classic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This historic design first appeared in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and became the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Above Lincoln's portrait appears the inscription, "In God We Trust," while the word "Liberty" is located to the left. The date, 1968, appears on the right side of the coin. On the reverse is the famous Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Asparo. One of the most fascinating details of this design is that if you look closely with magnification, you can actually see a tiny image of Abraham Lincoln seated inside the memorial. The 1968 Lincoln penny was struck at 3 different United States mint facilities. Coins without a mint mark were produced in Philadelphia. Pennies with a small d mint mark came from the Denver Mint, while coins marked with an S were struck in San Francisco. Unlike earlier years, the San Francisco Mint once again produced business strike pennies in 1968, making this year significant for collectors who pay close attention to mint marks. The coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it the rich reddish color associated with older Lincoln cents. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. Since it was produced before the composition change in 1982, many collectors enjoy adding these solid copper pennies to their collections. Production numbers for the 1968 Lincoln penny were extremely high. The Philadelphia Mint struck more than 1.7 billion coins, while Denver produced over 2.8 billion examples. The San Francisco Mint contributed more than 258 million business strike coins, making all 3 varieties relatively common in circulated condition. However, high production does not mean every coin has little value. As with many Lincoln cents, condition is one of the biggest factors affecting price. Most circulated 1968 pennies are worth only a few cents above face value. Coins that have spent decades changing hands usually show where on Lincoln's hair, cheek, coat, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Scratches, discoloration, and rim damage are also common. These heavily circulated examples are easy to find and generally carry only modest value. The story changes dramatically when a 1968 penny is found in exceptional mint state condition. Uncirculated coins that still display their original mint luster are much scarcer than circulated examples. Collectors are especially interested in coins graded MS-65, MS-66, MS-67, and higher by professional grading services. These high-grade coins can command impressive prices because so few survive with flawless surfaces and strong eye appeal. Color also plays a major role in determining value. Copper coins naturally darken over time due to exposure to air and moisture. Grading companies classify Lincoln cents into three color categories: brown, red-brown, and red. Brown coins have lost most of their original color and are generally worth less. Red-brown coins retain part of their original appearance, while red coins still display the bright mint color they had when they left the mint. Collectors pay significant premiums for high-grade red examples because they are much more difficult to preserve. One of the most exciting reasons collectors search through 1968 Lincoln pennies is the possibility of discovering valuable mint errors. Mint errors occur during the coin manufacturing process and can make an otherwise common penny extremely collectible. Among the most desirable are double die errors. These occur when the coin die receives a misaligned impression during its creation, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. Collectors carefully inspect the date, the word Liberty, In God We Trust, and Lincoln's portrait for signs of genuine doubling. Strong double die examples can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their visibility and condition. Another popular error is the repunched mint mark. During this era, mint marks were punched into coin dies by hand before production began. If the mint mark was punched more than once and the impressions were slightly misaligned, traces of the earlier punch remained visible. Repunched mint marks are especially interesting because they reflect the manual minting techniques used before modern computerized methods. Off-center strike errors are another favorite among collectors. Broad strike errors also attract strong collector interest. These happen when the retaining collar fails during striking, allowing the metal to spread outward. The finished coin appears larger than normal and lacks the raised rim found on properly struck examples. Collectors also search for clipped planchet errors. These unusual coins were created when the blank metal disc was improperly cut from the strip before striking, leaving a curved or straight section missing from the edge. Authentic clipped planchets are highly collectible because they clearly demonstrate an error that occurred before the coin was struck. Die cracks and die breaks are additional mint errors worth examining. Over time, coin dies wear out from repeated use. Small cracks can form in the die and transfer to the coin as raised lines. Larger die breaks may create raised metal lumps or unusual shapes on the finished coin. While minor die cracks are relatively common, major examples often bring higher premiums. Fill die errors are also found on some 1968 pennies. Grease or debris can clog recessed areas of the die, preventing certain parts of the design from being fully struck. This may result in weak lettering, incomplete numbers, or missing design elements. Although many fill die errors are minor, dramatic examples are popular among collectors. Proof coins from a San Francisco mint deserve special attention as well. These coins were struck using specially polished dies and carefully prepared planchets to create brilliant mirror-like fields and frosted devices. They were made specifically for collectors rather than everyday circulation. High-grade proof coins with strong cameo or deep cameo contrast are especially valuable and often sell for substantial premiums. Some of the highest quality 1968 Lincoln pennies have achieved impressive auction prices. Coins graded at the very top of the grading scale, particularly those retaining full original red color, have sold for thousands of dollars. Rare mint errors in similar condition can bring even higher prices because of their uniqueness and strong collector demand. If you own a 1968 Lincoln penny, it is worth taking a few moments to inspect it carefully. Check whether it has a mint mark below the date. Examine the surfaces under good lighting with a magnifying glass to look for doubling, repunched mint marks, die cracks, or other unusual features. If possible, weigh the coin to confirm that it matches the standard weight of approximately 3.11 grams. Never clean the coin, as cleaning can permanently damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. If you believe you have found an unusual variety or a coin in exceptional condition, consider having it authenticated and graded by a respected professional grading service. The 1968 Lincoln penny proves that one of the most common coins in American history can still hold extraordinary value under the right circumstances. While billions were produced, only a tiny percentage remain in outstanding condition or display desirable mint errors. That is why collectors continue searching through rolls of pennies, estate collections, old jars, and inherited coin albums every single day. The next valuable discovery could already be sitting in your collection, waiting for someone to notice the small details that everyone else overlooked. Before you spend another old penny, take a closer look, because what seems like ordinary pocket change today could become one of the most exciting finds of your lifetime. Here on Hardest Penny, we'll continue exploring the incredible stories, hidden rarities, and amazing values behind the world's most collectible Lincoln pennies, one fascinating coin at a time.